Hey, what is going on, everyone? Zeusifur here, welcoming you to our Week 5 match in the PCL D-League. This week we are going up against Storm, coach of the San Diego Sneasels. They are currently undefeated as of this week, putting on a very impressive 4-game win streak as of this point. Last week we unfortunately did take that L going up against Dreadful and his Los Ampros. Really close game. It was a 1-0 win in his favor. Unfortunately, if you didn't see the video, I had issues with not being able to get my audio recorded because my headset that I record with broke. So I had to order a new one. Luckily, it came in just the other day. So here I am now able to get my commentary for this week's battle. But anyways, looking at his team, the mods he brought this week was Porygon 2, Magearnas, Nihilego, Bronzong, Haxorus, and Mega Venusaur, as I brought a Jirachi with Air Balloon for his Mammoth, which he didn't end up bringing. Blastoise with just kind of a more standard set with some coverage moves. Megalade with Sword Stance, a specially defensive Crobat, which is my Mega Venusaur switch in, Rotom Heat with Light Clay and both screens, and a Expert Belt Greninja with 3 moves and Toxic for potentially helping whittle down the Porygon 2. So looking at what he brought versus what I have, I figured Jirachi is not too bad of a lead option for me. I can get rocks up against most of his team. I can also scout out what he wants to go for. Nothing on his team should be able to take me out in one hit, so I do think that Jirachi is going to be my best lead option. He could probably lead with the Bronzong. He could also lead with Magearnas, just to Volt Switch out. But he actually does lead with the Porygon 2, so as I go ahead, I lead out here with my Jirachi. Now at this point, I figured I just want to see kind of what set this thing is, as we do see he gets the special attack raise, so that is kind of unfortunate. I do go for the Iron Head, as that does about 20-ish, 25-ish%. Goes for Shadow Ball, which at +1 takes me all the way down to 25 HP. Special defense drop, doesn't really matter. Here he does decide to switch out, which I'm figuring he's predicting me to switch out, preserving my Jirachi. I just do decide to just go ahead and get out my Stealth Rocks. Now that he has his Bronzong out, I'm figuring that he's probably going to just go ahead and get up his own rocks. So I want to go ahead and get my Rotom Heat out here, just to kind of force him to probably switch out. Or if he does decide to stay in, I can just go ahead and go for the Will-O-Wisp to potentially nerf this thing, as he does make the switch out into his Nihilego. As I do just go ahead and I go for the Will-O-Wisp. Burning the Nihilego doesn't really mean much. I mean, it's never going to be physically offensive. Chip damage is whatever, but I do decide that Charge Bolt would absolutely get blown back by a Power Gem at this point, so decide Jirachi is low enough that's not going to do anything this game, so I figure I can go ahead and just sack it to this. Jirachi had enough investment to take on the Nihilego, had I not decided to stay in on the Porygon 2, which was probably not a good call on my end, but I figured I just wanted to scout what the Porygon 2 might have been. Here I just go out into my Blastoise. I can go ahead and click Earthquake on this thing. If it decides to stay in, I can live one hit, as he does make the safer switch and go out into his Venusaur here. As we're going to see here that this Earthquake is going to do about 25-ish, maybe 30%. So not too bad damage. I do get some leftovers recovery, and I do just go ahead and decide to get the heck out of there and go out into my Crobat, which is my dedicated Mega Venusaur switch-in this week. As he does go ahead and Mega Evolves this turn, meaning that he's staying in. And I believe he is just going to be going for the Synthesis, which he does in fact go for. So he's going to go ahead and get back up to full HP here. Now I do have Super Fang on this thing. I do have Brave Bird. Brave Bird could put a lot more damage in, but I figured he might switch, so Super Fang would just be the safer option, as he does go out into his Magearnas. So staying in and going for the Super Fang was the better play. So get this thing to a little bit under half thanks to Stealth Rock damage, as we do get some recovery here. Here I decided to just go ahead and make the switch out into my Blastoise, as this thing does just go for the Volt Switch, which is going to do pretty sizable chunk damage, a little bit more than 50%, as this is just going to let him bring in his Mega Venusaur, and at this point I'm figuring I'm just going to sack my Blastoise, that way I can bring in my Crobat for free, or potentially even my Mega Gallade for free, as he does go for the Giga Drain, and Blastoise is going to live on literally 1 HP, which is very nice because now we are actually going to be able to get the Rapid Spin off, getting away his rocks on my side of the field, which is very crucial for like my Rotom Heat and my Crobat especially. But here I do just let him take me out. Seeing that he went for knockoff, I could have potentially gone out into my Mega Gallade to get a free +1 boost, but I didn't want to risk taking the extra damage if he went for like Giga Drain instead. Here he switches out into his Bronzong, as I do just go ahead and Mega Evolve, and I figured Venusaur wasn't going to be able to do anything too bad to me. The worst would be like to poison me or put me to sleep, so I just decided to Swords Dance that turn. So because he switched, I do get a 3+2 boost, and I am just going to be going for the Close Combat here, which at +2 is going to luckily take out the Bronzong. That might have been a roll, depending on what his investment was, but we do see here that he does bring in the Magearna, and seeing as he brings in the Magearna, I'm assuming now that this thing is Choice Scarfed, because Close Combat would easily take that thing out. As we see here, he does just go for the Volt Switch, so he probably is Choice Scarfed at this point. He might have bluffed it, I'm not 100% sure, as he does bring out his Nihilego against my Crobat, which makes me think maybe this thing is also Choice Scarfed. Granted, my Crobat can't really do a ton to this. I don't think Brave Bird can quite kill with my investment. But we do see here that he does outspeed me, so he is Choice Scarf. Goes for the Power Gem and knocks out my Crobat. And he will get the Beast Boost to be +1 and special attack. Now I can bring in my Mega Gallade because my Mega Gallade does resist. And with its just pure natural special defense bulk, I know I can eat up the Power Gem, so he does just stay and go for the Power Gem. Does about 46 damage, as I just went for the Close Combat. I figured I didn't want to risk him switching out into something else and going for like the Psychic move, because he could have gone out like into the Magearna and tanked that, or even like the Porygon 2 could have been a switch, so I went for Close Combat just to be safe. As he brings in the Haxorus, and now once again I'm figuring maybe he's trying to bluff he's Scarfed to potentially set up, but we do see here that he actually is Choice Scarfed, so we now confirm that he has brought in 2 Choice Scarfers, with Magearna being an option for potentially 3rd Choice Scarfer. So he does take out my Mega Gallade. I bring in my Rotom Heat here. I figure my best bet is to get up my Reflect to potentially set up Greninja to maybe win the game for me, living a hit from this thing, as he does go for his 3rd turn of Outrage, and he does 44 damage, so we luckily live. I do go for the Will-O-Wisp. I could have potentially gone for the Light Screen to potentially set up Greninja a little bit better, but I figured I wanted to just make sure that I could take whatever hit this thing wanted to go for. As he does go ahead, he gets the Outrage off, doesn't hit himself in confusion, takes out our Rotom Heat, so it is now Greninja versus the world. And it's not looking good for us. But we should be able to eat up this outrage because of the reflect and the burn. But he actually does hit himself in confusion, so kind of nice on our part. Kind of unfortunate it didn't happen the last turn and could have gotten the light screen off. But Ice Beam is easily going to take the kill against this Haxorus. And now he brings in the Magearna, which all but assures that he is in fact Choice Scarf Magearna. As we do see here that he will outspeed me, he will go for the Floor Cannon, and he will kill us. So unfortunately we do lose 3-0 this week. Back again on that 3 differential win or loss. I think out of the 5 games I've had, 4 of the 5 of them have been either 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5 have been a 3-0 or 0-3 loss. So anyways, good game to Storm. Crazy that he brought 3 Choice Scarf Mons, but looking at his team, his speeds weren't really the greatest, so I assumed he was going to bring at least 1, if not 2 Choice Scarfers. So and I think he did a really good job with bringing Choice Scarf on both the Magearna and the Haxorus, because I was assuming that both of them could also be setup Mons, and I didn't want to risk them just setting up, so made me play a little differently. But he did great on prep and did well in the battle as well, so I cannot be upset with this game at all. So he does move to 5-0 for the season, as I move to 2-3 with a -1 differential, I believe. So still in it, but at the halfway point of the season, we are sitting at a losing record with a losing differential, but hopefully we can turn things around in the second half of the season, and we can start picking up more wins and maybe getting some better differentials. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I will see you guys next week when we go up against oh shoot, I don't know who we actually go up against, so see you next week when we go up against whoever we go up against. But I will see you then. Bye bye.